another bit of the book, Todd is God, and you've got quite a few wrestlers writing nice things about you, and this one is from Blue Meanie. If Todd hadn't sacrificed his own personal wealth to start a promotion, God knows how many careers might have been lost or might not have been discovered. I'm going to start with a fairly big question here. How much did you invest of your own money in Eastern Championship Wrestling to get it started, including, paying NWA fees and licenses and that kind of thing? And how much do you think you invested in it over time?
Getting it started was really not a big investment. The shows were not expensive to put on. We're only running bar shows. Other than the one name that we would bring in, say Ivan Koloff would come in, he'd be the only name talent on the show, making like maybe $300 a night. The other guys were all making 100 and less when we first started. So there was not a big overhead. We usually did bar shows where the bar would keep the bar money and we get all the ticket money. So we didn't have to pay them for the building or rent. Because I had no intention of starting a federation, people like Bob Ortiz and Stevie Truitt and Larry Winters were the three that approached me to first do this. They were all working for free. So that's free ring announcer, free sound, free wrestler. And so there were so many parties that really wasn't investing much of anything at all.
You had a free ring as well, didn't you?
Well, yeah, if you used the right guy's ring, Max Thrasher was the guy who would give you his ring as long as you worked on the show. That's how he got his bookings back then. And he had a small 16-foot ring, but again, you got to go by the price too. The price was right. It was free. As we started to grow and expand, a lot more cash flow went into the company. Went from this started costing me a thing to like, oh my God, what is this costing me? There was a couple $100,000 involved, certainly.
Mm. When did it? Do you remember maybe the exact event where you started looking at the bank balance and thinking, oh dear, this is going to start costing me more from this part, this day onwards, sort of thing?
Well, I think that once we got into the ECW arena, obviously, and we're running TV every week and paying for that TV show to be we were paying for it to be on, but paying for it to be produced by the guy who's filming it and putting it all together. I saw the expenses going up, but I also thought to myself, hey, we're building something here. Each week and each month, the numbers are better. The tape being sold were, getting crazy all of a sudden. So I knew there was something there that would eventually bring a return on the investment. So I wasn't afraid of the investment as it stood at the beginning. Even a year and a half, 2 years in, I was thinking, I'll get this back. I know we got something here. I can just feel it. We'll get it back.
Financially speaking,
we kept expanding more, unfortunately, before we get it back. Next thing you know, when we got to the pay-per-view stage, it was never going to be able to come back. It was always going to have more outputs coming in.
I'm definitely going to be bringing up the pay-per-view in a while as well. I want to take it back slightly to Joel Goodhart's TWA. That's sort of the pre-ECW that I think is best remembered for. Financially speaking and booking-wise as well, what did you learn from Joel as far as what to do and what not to do?
Well, the obvious what not to do was to put on a show with so much expensive talent that you had no chance at all of recouping your investment because you're only running once a month or once every couple of months, I think it was, in that big show. And when he would lose that one big show, well, it made him stand out and be different than any other promoter because he was bringing talent nobody else could get or bring in. Nobody else would either because of the expense of it. Be it the Freebirds, be it Eddie Gilbert, Cactus Jack, and whoever he was bringing in at the time, he'd load the card with 20 people like that. He'd have Lawler and Idol and Austin Idol and just anybody who was not tied down, he would bring in. I said, I don't understand the model here. You're going to lose your ass every couple of months.
Well, specifically Austin Idol as well. It's like, does he have any history in Philadelphia?
None. But see him in a magazine, Joel saw him in a magazine, he brought him in. So he didn't seem to care. He just wasn't looking at it as building up something. He wasn't thinking where it could go. He was living in the moment pretty much. But he didn't do the booking really. He gave that to the wrestlers. He booked his own school kids, like the JT Smiths, Larry Winters, Hot Body, Stetson, Sandman. I mean, that was his school, Ringmaster School. And he booked them. And all the other guys, he just said, whatever you guys want. Do whatever you need to do. Work out your own finish. Who's going over? I'm not going to get,
So that's inmates running the asylum there straight off the bat, isn't it?
Well, yes and no, because again, running a show 4 times a year, 4 major
Yeah,
shows like
yeah.
that, you don't need it. There's no angles to really be done. There's nowhere to see them. There's no one to follow up. You're going to say, oh my God, look what he did. I can't wait to come back in 4 months and see what happens. So it wasn't really a major issue. You didn't care if it was a Broadway or Count Out or whatever the case may be. But again, it's hard to get anything going momentum wise when you're bringing all those people in and not seeing them again for another 4 months. In between, all you're doing is bar shows.